netflix.com/TYT. Get a free trial membership. See how you like it. It's a free
Radar Online reports that Mel Gibson admit to hitting Oksana on tape. All right,
Yeah, so no one has this tape, though, right?
Radar Online.
I know. I mean, no one's heard it.
No one's heard it.
Radar says they've heard it.
Yeah, Radar says they've heard it. It's not available on the internet. You can't find it anywhere, so it hasn't been released, which makes me a little skeptical of these reports, right? But then again, when you look at Mel Gibson's track record, it's not that hard to believe that he would do such things.
Well, if Radar Online says they have it, I tend to believe they have it, and at some point we're going to hear it, I presume. So, did you say exactly what he said here?
No, I didn't say
right,
exactly. So in the new tape, apparently he's hitting her, right? And Oksana says, "What kind of man would is that who would hit a woman who's holding a child in her hands, hitting her twice in the face?" So she was holding the baby, Lucille.
So according to her, she says stuff. We don't hear him hit her, but she says stuff to indicate that he hit her twice. Now, she could be making that up, obviously, based on what's on the tape, because obviously then when she says that, Gibson would deny it.
Right, except in this case, he didn't deny it. He
said, what did he say?
He says, "You know what? You effing deserved it."
Oh, my God. I think we ought to have a little conversation here, everybody. So, JR, Jesus, Dave's out there.
Did she deserve it? I'm kidding.
Yes or no? Well, I mean, it depends. What was her behavior? What did she do? How irritating was she? Was she paying more attention to the baby than Mel? What is the worst thing he's done? Not really. I guess we can look at it two ways. One, morally. And then two, the other way to look at what's the worst thing he's done career-wise.
Oh, okay.
Like, Jews started all wars. Are you a Jew? I believe he said to the cops, right? You look like an effing pig in heat. I hope you get raped by a pack of...
N-word. Yeah.
Right. It will be your fault. Or punching his girlfriend twice while she holds the kid and saying, you know what, you effing deserved it. I think it's competitive. Let's rank them. Who wants to go first? Who has a thought? JR, what do you think? Why don't you bat first?
I'm going to go with the hitting her with the baby in hand. Then we'll go with the...
Wait, so what was your number one choice?
Hitting her.
Hitting her is the worst thing.
Wait,
Yes.
Are we beginning with morally or career-wise?
Oh, yeah, let's make the distinction there.
I was going morally. All right, that was my
morally,
mindset.
all right. You think morally hitting her is the worst?
Yes.
Second?
Actually, it's going to go right the exact order from what you listed.
Okay.
So it's back right down. You look like a pig in heat. That one. And then what was it? Oh, the cops and his whole anti-Semitic rant. Yeah.
And I hope you get raped.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. yes.
And so the least offensive, not surprisingly from you, the anti-Semitic stuff. All right, Anna?
I would say exactly the same order as JR's. Hitting his girlfriend because he's physically harming someone.
Right.
While she's holding a baby, so he's physically harming.
Does that matter?
I think it matters because he's stalking her in the face.
If he hit her without the baby, would you change the order?
No, I would not change the order.
That's what I mean. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
All right.
And then the second would be when he was yelling at Oksana and telling her that she should get raped. I mean, this guy is a joke.
Then the Jewish stuff comes in last.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I'm curious from a career point of view. Obviously, I think we can all safely assume that his career, good chance it's irreparably damaged if these things are true, and if anyone ever hears that tape. And it only saving grace why I would not say he's done without question is if it turns out it's not true somehow, and although that would require that that a Radar Online has engaged in some sort of deception or been subject to a clever ruse. But if it's true, I think he's. I think it's unbelievably damaging, right?
Interesting, actually. The career list the level of ones I think would hurt his career the most changes.
Oh.
Really? Okay, this
Yeah.
is what I'm talking about. I like this. Okay, so career-wise, what do you got?
Actually, the exact opposite.
Really? Really? So that's a little anti-Semitic on your part because you're like, because the Jews control Hollywood, so that becomes the worst.
That's not why. It's because things that you say about certain groups, which is why the other one's second worst, because the things you'll say about groups of people, it goes to groups of people, then it goes to his girlfriend. He's talking trash to her, to her face, about what he hopes can happen to her. And then it goes on to him actually hitting someone. Look at Chris Brown, beat up on Rihanna. And everyone's like, it's over. It's not over. And that's a conversation we had before. Because guess whose career actually everyone was hoping was over, was Michael Vick, when he killed a bunch of dogs.
So
when he murdered dogs. So then, brutally. Let's go ahead and make sure that's true. So the thing is we have more of an issue with that type of stuff than we do with harming a person as far as putting them back in something.
All right.
It's going to be harder PR to recover from those other things.
Good Chris Brown point. So you go Jews, blacks, violence.
Yes.
All right. Anna?
I just want to note for the record that JR is very consistent on that point. Okay. In fact, he mentioned it during the whole Rihanna, Chris Brown drama, and he said, you know, Chris Brown's career is going to be fine because all he did was hit Rihanna.
Right.
And no one cares about that. And you know what? He makes a compelling point,
He
and
does.
I agree with him.
All right. So you're reversing it entirely too? Jews, blacks, violence? I think morally you probably have it right. You can't hit a woman at any time. You know, you can shove her, maybe. No, you can't. There's no violence, and holding the baby makes it worse. You shouldn't even have to distinguish how it's made worse, but of course it is. I mean, open fist, closed fist, whether it's a fight that she engaged in too. I mean, there are mitigating circumstances. It's never okay, but nothing is the same as everything else. But somehow, unmitigated, striking her with a child, what are you doing, right? Out of control. The hoping you get raped by a pack of N-words, unthinkably. And the Jewish stuff he got away with in part because there was such a funny line included in that after the Jews started all wars, and are you a Jew, when he says to the officer, what are you looking at, sugar tits? Which trumped everything else because it was so ridiculous that we're all laughing at it. So I think that was definitely third. Where you guys are wrong, JR gets a 10 for the great point about the violence. That the fact is, and it's not just Chris Brown, there's a whole bunch of guys who have been accused of violence toward women. Some of it true, I presume, some of it untrue. I don't think that every time that a woman has made an accusation in Hollywood, because Lord knows there are a lot of crazy women in Hollywood. So I think the percentage of women in Hollywood who are not telling the truth far exceeds, because I think just about every woman in life who says it is probably telling the truth. And women are obviously when they're faced with the violence from their partner, is a very serious and dangerous situation. But that said, doesn't change the fact that just because somebody made an allegation, it's true. Obviously, Chris Brown hit Rihanna, and this seems, if this tape is real, obvious. Mel Gibson admits it on the tape. So, but clearly, for some reason in Hollywood, you can come back from it. There is no coming back from what he said, I hope you get raped by a pack of it. It's too much. Part of it is because he already said the thing about Jews, so it's piling on it, it substantiates it. But I don't think in today's day and age you can use that word and survive. I just flat out don't. And to say it in the context of I hope you get raped by a pack, it also has this base racism of white women in danger from roving packs of black guys who are going to come out and steal our women. It's unrecoverable. I think even without the previous Jewish stuff. But when you add them together, irrecoverable. If he said it and we hear that tape, it becomes the worst career thing in this list.
Can you go to Netflix right now and get it?
Hell no, you can't!
That's the wrong audio. Of course you can. Don't be ridiculous. Netflix.com/TYT.